Yo, hey, what's up? My name is Lamont Bookman. I'm from Dallas, Texas, DeSoto specifically. Um, and I found out about Prime Driven actually by mistake because my eldest son came to me and showed me an entry that he made for 8080. So I went to 8080's website to see the car that he was telling me about, and while I was there, decided to go ahead and buy some detailing products that I needed to restock my supplies. As soon as the purchase was concluded, the very next ad that popped up was for Prime Driven. I forget which car it was, but I noticed that I didn't enter the first few times I saw the ad. Because I was like, well, I just entered this one, and I really didn't. I really didn't do the whole entering giveaways thing. But one of the next times it popped up, I want to say like the third, fourth time that I saw it, decided to go ahead and go through the ad and um, see what products they offer. I was like, oh, okay, nice coffee mug over here, a couple of skull caps over there, and then a couple of T-shirts. Suffice it to say, 40 plus entries later through Prime Driven, and about five or six of them through Prime Driven Daily, finally win one. The funny thing is, it just happens to be 5 days prior to my birthday. So this was awesome. I entered for this giveaway specifically because until I actually saw the car, I never knew that Nissan, the S15 or the S13, even had a convertible. I'd only ever seen the coupes. I've never known that they had convertibles because I never actually seen one. And the fact that they even had a hardtop convertible was like, oh crap, look at that. That's cool. Let me go ahead and enter that one. Not to mention that, like I said in the previous question, for part of the answer for the previous question, is that all of Prime's giveaways are short and they have a set number of entries, and once that quota is met, or if it hasn't been met, um, by the time that window closes, however many entries there were at that time, that's it. There are no super exaggerated number of, oh, okay, well, we didn't have enough entries by this time of the window while the contest was open, so now we're doing 2,000% entries, or 2,000 times entries, or 100x entries. Like, no, keep it as it started. For every $5, one entry, blah blah blah. I like that. And the fact that you don't just keep the windows open super long times just to cram and make as much money and be greedy as possible. Like, that's not for me. To me, that's like playing the numbers game, like a numbers racket for the mob or something. Like, no, I don't like that one. To actually answer the question of what got me into cars, I can't really answer that one. I think I was born with it because my earliest memories and the story that likes to be told every time we have any kind of a family gathering, whether it's my mom that initiates it, or it's my aunts, or it's my grandmother, every one of them has a story that from the day I came home from the hospital, they could not get me to go to sleep unless they drove me around the block in the car. And that once I fell asleep in the car, when they pulled back up in the driveway, they had to take me in the house and put me in the bed before they shut the car off. Because if they shut the car off and then tried to take me into the house, I woke up and started bawling again, and then they have to drive around the block again until I fell asleep. So I think just cars were in my blood, and then because of that, except for my wife, I do not buy any automatics. I have to have a manual because that whole sound of the engine revving and shifting and all of that is in my head so much that when I first went to take driver's ed, I had to hear that. Like, I didn't even want to take driver's ed in an automatic, even though I had to, because that was, at the time, we had both a manual and an automatic, and we had to be able to drive both of them. But ever since then, ever since I got my license, my first car and every car since has been a manual, and that's why I ended up at PrimeDriven in the first place, because one of the first things I bought from them was a t-shirt that said "Save the Manuals," because manuals transmissions is you can't it's not a real sports car without a manual transmission to me. Funny thing is I had actually said this to Eric when he called to verify that I had actually won, and I told him when I saw the text in the first place that I literally just woke up about 15 minutes or so prior to that, because my granddaughter was due to come home from school at the time, and I was wanting to be up for her. So when she came in the door, I let her in and went in there to fix her a snack, something to eat while she did her homework. So I left from her after I fixed her the sandwich, and then went to use the restroom. And just as I sat back down to start playing my PS5, I look over and my phone screen is lighting up because the text that I won had just come through. So I'm sitting there looking at the text, and I'm like, nah, this can't be real. And I said out loud without even really paying attention that I was doing it, was like, I won a car. With just that kind of emotion, no real excitement, like curious, like, I won a car. And my granddaughter heard me say that. She's like, you did what? And I turn around and show her the text, and then I scroll back through the website and show her what the car looked like that I won. And she was excited. I just had this whole attitude like, I won a car. Then I said all of that same stuff to my wife to let her know. She just screaming at, oh, really? Oh, that's awesome. And she go to the website and she looks at the car and she checks out the whole thing. Like, just she turns into a PI and investigates Prime to make sure it's all real. And she calls back super excited. It never hit me to be excited about it until I see the confirmation emails from American Sweepstakes, and then get the follow-up call from Eric that he was about to send. They needed the proof of ID and the copies of my current insurance and all of that. And I'm like, wait a minute, now it's real to me. And then I get excited, but I still didn't have the same level of excitement that my wife and granddaughter did. Like I was telling Eric during the call, I think that's gonna hit me right when I'm looking at the car being offloaded from the truck, and I'm like, whoa, okay, yeah, I really did win it. It'll probably hit me then. And then I'll probably end up making not probably, I'm definitely gonna be, as soon as get the notification from the delivery driver to make sure that I'm available while they're dropping it off. Like, okay, be standing out there and just ants in my pants waiting on him, and as soon as I see the truck pull up, flip my phone out and start making a video to post on my IG, and then to turn around and send a copy to Prime to let them know, hey, this is what it's like, yeah, this is real, blah blah blah. I think it'll hit me then, but right now I'm excited, like, you know, that I won it, but it just hasn't really hit me. So the excitement is more of like it's a novelty, like, I just won a car, no big deal, until I'm looking at it. Then I think it's gonna change. My victory lap is definitely gonna be me in it solo first, like to just jump in it, because I haven't driven an actual right-hand drive car since my time in the military, and driving a right-hand drive car when I was in Japan, when I was at Yokosuka Air Force Base, and just happened to go out on the town and met a couple of local Japanese citizens, and at one of the clubs I was at, and decided to go hang out with them. And we were riding through Yokosuka, and we went through a couple of different spots, and they're showing me places that they hung out and let me drive their cars. And this was back in 91. So I hadn't driven a right-hand drive car since 91. So my first victory lap is gonna be me by myself, pull out of the driveway or wherever we dropping the car, and just leave some rubber down, and just bend a couple of corners and let it be seen that I'm driving this car, and leave the top down so everybody could see that I'm driving on the wrong side of the car, and just be excited. And then when my wife makes it home, the next lap will be just us, just flying through the neighborhood and jump in the passenger seat and let her do it, because she's a big car girl. And funny thing is she is the only female that I've ever let drive any of my cars. I've never let any girlfriends, any sisters, any aunts, not even my mom has ever driven any car that I own. But my wife is as big a car person as I am, and that's one of the things that we bonded over when I met her, because I literally watched this woman take out of a 2005 Ford Ranger in the parking lot of a hotel that we were staying in in some part of North Dallas before we got our first apartment together. The power steering, not the power steering, the brakes had gone mushy on the truck. I watched this woman pull the brake booster out, the master cylinder, and literally just swap everything out and repair it herself. And I'm steady asking her, like, you need some help? Because I got this, I could do this. And she's like, no, I got it. So I think that very next lap, if she's not home when it first get dropped off, if she's there, then the first lap is going to be me and her. I'm probably going to drive about 2 or 3 times around the block. We're going to switch seats, and then she's going to drive it and just, haul ass, because she is as much of a car person as I am. So that's going to be cool. So the person that's watching this video thinking like I've entered a number of times, I'm never going to win, and whether or not this is real or any of that, I'm a living witness. Like, if you don't believe any of the other testimonies that you got, believe mine. Because I've entered 40 plus times on PrimeDriven, and then like 5 or 6 times on PrimeDriven daily. So I've been doing this for a while. And the reason I've entered so many times isn't because I'm just, one of those people that's addicted to gambling or just addicted to entering sweepstakes. It's because Prime has some interesting cars, some cars that if you're a car person, how special the giveaways the cars that they're offering in their giveaways are. Like, you got others I won't name that give away these super exotic high-end cars and all of that, and then it's a bunch of hype. It's more status for having that car than the actual love of driving. Versus Prime's cars, if you're a car person, you know what you're looking at. But even if you're not a car person, you could see this car, and it's a car that you could drive daily. It's a car that will not only get you from point A to B, but they'll engage you. They're cars that you want to just get in them and drive. They're just fun cars, and quite a few of them are cars that you don't even want to turn on the radio while you drive. You just want to drive it and listen to it run while you're doing it, and that's the whole point. So it may take you a minute because I'm one of those. I've entered 40 plus times, but keep doing it. It'll happen. Okay, so I have a couple of people I want to thank. But the first person I want to thank, and this is going to seem kind of odd because I'm not sure if this actually happens, but I actually want to thank or give a shout out to you, Eric, because Eric, just from through the text and the initial phone call, just seems to be a cool guy. So the conversations we had before this part came up, we were just talking, and he just seemed to be a regular guy that you just want to sit back, chill with, have a beer, just cool. So thank you, just for making the whole experience just cool. And then in addition to that, in addition to thanking him, I'd like to thank Prime themselves, the whole staff, just because, again, the cars that you offer are cool cars. They are just cars you want to drive, that you're not going to be panicked about owning, that you're not going to break the bank trying to take care of them should something break down, like others who do the super cars and all these super exotics and high-end cars. Nothing wrong with those, but the reality soon hits after you won either of those, that the service on those cars, yeah, you won the car and you want some money to help pay for the taxes on that car, but the reality of the maintenance and keeping that car is more expensive than you thought, which is why I'm thankful for Primes, because Prime's cars are cars that you, while they are, some of them are actually pretty rare, and some of them are just the more desired versions of well-known cars, like anybody that's been in a car since the first Fast and Furious knows exactly what I'm talking about. These cars are desirable, but none of them have been so expensive that you're afraid to own it. Like you just want to drive it for a year and then get rid of it because the maintenance or owning the car becomes more expensive than the car itself. So you want to do these. So thank you guys for the cars that you're choosing. And I'm just grateful for winning. That's it. I'm just honestly grateful for winning.